Yes, who?
Yeah.
Hey, Jeff.
I think I have a restraining order again.
You probably do. You too? Damn it.
Yeah.
I can't see anybody.
That class action restraining order.
Yeah. Hey, Will?
Yes.
I was just informed by Mr. Jeff Hayes, who's online now, that he is enforcing that restraining order on me. So perhaps you have to do most of the talking this evening. So
okay. Well, I'll do my best to take the captain's chair.
Okay. I'll introduce you to Mr. Jeff Hayes.
How you doing? Fanboy Will? Do I call you fanboy? Do I call you boy, Will, fan?
You can call me Will. You can call me fanboy Will.
Mr. Fanboy.
You can call me asshole. You can call me whatever you want.
And Jeff is kind of, if I can throw this joke out there, he's kind of the poster boy of fan films, if you will.
There you go.
Good pun.
Yeah, thank you. I wrote that down. It took me all afternoon to think that one up.
Rapier Wick. Fancy.
Jeff, did you have any questions before we started?
No. Just whatever y'all want to talk about, I'll try to lie through most of it.
Okay, great, perfect. That's usually how we work it.
Are you used to being insulted constantly? Because I'll be we're going to throw a lot of insults at you, and
I'm a cop. I get insulted all the time.
Oh, really? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome. I never had a police officer before.
Yeah, police captain. I've been in for about 20 years.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now, do you bring the sense of humor on your perps?
Yes, I try. It falls on deaf ears often, but...
Turn around and face the wall. Don't worry, I'm not going to tickle your balls. Just face the wall.
Right.
They just don't get it when they're on crack, man. You know?
They don't.
You don't get
Sometimes
the punchline.
they laugh at bad jokes when they're on crack, so...
Okay, so we have an actual real crime fighter. You're like a real superhero.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And he actually... Do you dress up? Or are you like a suit?
I do dress up.
Yeah.
I have a blue costume, but I'm told not to wear it to work. I'm actually supposed to...
just at home.
I get the cape stuck in the door, and...
Yeah, that could be a little annoying in the cruiser. You get snagged up. The cop mobile and all that. Okay, so we're speaking to Mr. Jeff Hayes, who is I would probably go as far as saying like the premier poster guy in fan films.
Yeah, he's amazing. He just does some amazing stuff.
Premier, I like that.
Yes, I would say some of the stuff, just name a little bit of what you've done. Practically all of the Star Trek New Voyages / Phase 2 films. Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum, which is blowing up right now all over the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe you've done a couple you did Star Wars Rogue, I believe, is the one.
Oh, really?
Which is an old favorite of mine, by the way. I love that movie. Spider-Man with our friend Roger King, Peter's Web.
Yep.
We've had him on the show recently. G.I. Joe, the Serpent Stone, which we talked to the creator of as well. And I'm just naming a few here. We got Buck Rogers, 25th Century, and that's all I have for that. But you're responsible for a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of mostly Star Trek stuff. That's kind of where I got my start in the fan film era, or in the area. The Hidden Frontier was kind of my first, expedition into the whole thing. My son introduced me to Troops. And
well, there you go. That's a first for a lot of people.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
That's the marijuana of fan films.
It's one of them. Yep.
The gateway drug. So I kind of got on there, and I've been a Star Trek fan for too long, and I thought, I wonder if there's any such thing as a Star Trek fan film out there. So I did a little internet search, and of course came across Hidden Frontier, and hooked up with them. Just sending emails back and forth. Said, hey, you need some artwork done, and they gave me a start. Rob Caves, the executive producer, he let me do just a few little kind of test. I don't know how to call them posters, but some web artwork, and that just one thing led to another. James Cawley invited me on board for their episode World Enough in Time, and I've been hooked up with them ever since. And it's just word of mouth and just exposure on the internet that's gotten me a bunch of other connections.
Have you ever actually got to meet any of the actual Trek cast members, or?
Yeah, when James invited me up to New York for A World Enough in Time, that was the George Takei episode.
That's right. We get to see him with the long daughter and all.
the barbarian.
It's like the Conan, George Takei. Yeah.
That was a great experience. Great experience.
Oh my.
These oh my. We did our own little. Well, I won't go. That was a great shoot.
He loved that cavity search, didn't he, Jeff?
Yeah.
Oh my God! You did not just say that. Yeah, oh my God! You did not.
We got in the room and introduced ourselves, and everybody's saying, "Oh, I'm from upstate New York. I'm from here, from there." And he gets around to me and he goes, "And you?" And I said, "Well, I said, well, I'm from Texas." And he looked at me like, "Oh,
all my exes are from Texas."
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Yeah, I said, yeah, there you go. And he says, "Oh, George Bush." And I said, "No." And one of the guys jumped in. He says, "Oh, he's from Austin. He's okay." And
he's all right.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I guess that gave me some clout with him because he called me Texas the rest of the time. That's cool. That's awesome. He's a real good guy. We've been, those are 18-hour days putting in on those episodes, and that guy is a professional. He is
It's hardcore. He's been in the business for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very good. But, let's see, Denise Crosby, who else have I got?
Of course, she's involved in that show, too, I guess. She's
she's in the upcoming episode, Part 2 of Blood and Fire. Let's see, of course, we got to work with David Jarrell, who's kind of famous in the Star Trek universe there. But those are about the stars that I've met. I didn't get to work with Walter Koenig. That was the episode before I joined the group there. So
that was one of the first New Voyages movies I saw was the Koenig episode, and I was just like, by the ship and the way people acted and the uniforms, everything was just deadpan. It could have been, easily an additional episode to the original series, easily.
So they actually they filmed that here or pretty close to here in New York someplace, don't they, Jeff?
Did they really? Up in near Ticonderoga, up in Fort Henry.
Yeah, it's only a few hours from here.
Really, James Cawley, one of the things I like about fan films is people like James Cawley and Roger King, and those guys, they're so passionate about what they're doing.
It shows,
Yeah, absolutely. And they're excited about their projects, so I get excited about their projects. And
of course.
And James is like that. He wanted to maintain that 1960s Star Trek original series kind of feel, and I just gravitated toward that because I've been a fan of the original series forever. And so it's like, can they pull this off? Matter of fact, I admit to him today, I watched the first episode, and I said, that's not Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. These are idiots. And now I can't.
They wish.
I just can't read something about Star Trek, and I actually start to picture those guys because
that's what I started doing. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yep. But because of my involvement with Phase 2, New Voyages in Phase 2, I've gotten all these other opportunities, and some I try to reach out to because there's just some things I really want to get involved in, like the Hunt for Gollum you mentioned. That I just saw online. I think I saw it on Fan Cinema today. Clive's a
friend of ours. Yep.
Good guy, and. I just, it's like, how do I get involved? And I got involved right on the tail end. I mean, they're knee-deep in editing, and they're knee-deep in special effects, and I come in the door going, hey, let me play.
I've done some posters.
Yeah, and so one of the producers, Brian Lavery, contacted me, and we got in a little email exchange, and he put me on their website, and there was a couple of other guys, artists on there, showing their stuff, and gosh, I don't want to sound arrogant. I don't want to come off as arrogant, but I kind of looking at it and I'm thinking, I can do this. I can
do better than that guy.
Yeah, so, but I was thinking, don't get arrogant, don't, and so I threw a few, pieces of artwork out there and a couple of playing around, and suddenly it was just a lock, and we started working on that release poster back and forth, and really got it down to where it is now. It's probably One of my favorites.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, if you go to Google, do a search in Google Images and put in The Hunt for Gollum, and you're going to see these different posters. Mm-hmm. Most of them are pretty simple, but when you get to Jeff's, man, that blows it out of the water.
Thanks. I mean,
I'm going to inflate your head even more right now by saying...
You go ahead.
I'm an artist myself. I graduated from art school in 2002. I got a bachelor's in illustration. I'm a graphic designer and illustrator. So I can appreciate things like as simple as just composition. Composition is so important in an illustration and a poster, because you just want to grab that attention and keep that attention. With a great composition, you keep that attention. Yeah. You keep the viewer focused on those images. Like, wow, let me look at that poster again. Like, almost like, I don't know if everyone knows I'm sure he's one of your heroes, Drew Struzan.
My favorite.
He's done all the, Star Wars, Indiana Jones films. He's done shit. He's done, like, The Goonies. Yeah. He's done just about everything. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm looking at his stuff. I mean, I don't mean to, again, make your head into a hot weather balloon. But, I'm looking at the compositions. I'm looking at the quality, and I'm saying, this guy, he's got it. Like, he's got the ability, and he's, wow. He's the up-and-comer, and so, I mean, have you ever been approached by Hollywood at all?
No, I'm kind of been limited to fan films and some independent film stuff. I've actually started working with an independent production company in the UK. Right. And this producer has used me to produce a lot of his pitch graphics and posters and things like that. And he's doing a trilogy of I guess I would call them kind of like I call them like gangster films. They're very film noir or very very. The styling is just awesome, and they're based on 3 graphic novels called. I guess the first one was called Jack Says, and then Jack Falls. I hope I did that right. No, Jack Says, Jack Said, and Jack Falls. And so I've gotten to do some poster work there, some actual, they paid me, frighteningly enough.
That's always nice.
Which, it kind of freaked me out. I didn't know what it was when it arrived. I said, this is
green stuff. Who are these people?
That's right. and let me tell you something. Right now with the exchange rate, it's nice to get a pound versus $1.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's. Let's see. When I got paid, I got about 100. They sent me just 100 pounds for some illustration. Let me see. That came out to $145, $150, right in there, somewhere in there.
Not bad.
Yeah, so it was okay. It was a nice little pocket change, and I'm still building my portfolio. I love entertainment graphics. I love trying to tell as much of the story as you can in that little media of
without giving too much away.
Exactly. And we were talking a while ago about Roger King. The fun thing about working with him, well, first of all, he is like a psychotic ball of energy. I love dealing with the guy because
he's a good character. Well, yeah. He's a good interview. Yep. He is
good
awesome. Guy.
And I watched his first episode, if you will, or he calls them issues, but and I watched that, and I laughed and had so much fun watching that. I said, I have to call this guy or get in touch with this guy because
you were the one who got in touch with him, huh?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I love that thing, and I said, I want to do whatever I can to help promote this. Right. Because if the rest of them are as fun as this first one, this guy deserves the attention.
Exactly.
And so we hooked up and we talked. I think he told you all this, but we talked for about 2 hours. And he is so excited about what he's doing. I get excited.
Right. Yeah.
Even some 80-year-old man who's fallen asleep. There it goes, and he's like, "Oh, Spider-Man jumping around."
I just saw the second one today. That was pretty good. They introduced the black cat, and then the end of this one.
Yeah, this next episode's going to be awesome. Matter of fact, the posters. I'm working on the poster now. I don't want to give. I don't want to spoil anything, but this will be of the ones we've done so far. Although the last poster I kind of enjoyed because Mary Jane's on the thing.
She was showing some extra cleavage in this second episode.
That was your effect on Photoshop, wasn't it? You're dirty. You just made that cleavage get...
Yeah. I didn't do that, no.
That was Playboy.
Yeah. But, no, this next poster will be fun. I mean, I am having so much fun doing it. I think it's going to be the best one we've done so far. It's going to be really cool.
That's
very
awesome,
man.
What is it? Is it
a comic book cover than any of them?
So I was just going to ask, I mean, being we're both artists, I mean, have you had any formal art training at school, or are you just kind of self-taught guy, you just picked it up and you started, throwing things together and say, hey, I can do this?
I've always been interested in artwork ever since I was a kid. I like probably everybody you've ever talked to, they always drew comic books. Yes,
that's me.
Comic books and made our own little, back in the, I'm not even going to tell you, back in the
1800s when I was
back in the time that disco was king. We did our own little magazines, our own copied Starlog, and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, Starlog, yep.
Yeah.
The old Star Trek zines, remember those?
Didn't I? Starlog, he's old.
I'm with you. I know what you're talking about. That's sad.
I remember that. So. Hey, man, I'm only 34 and I remember that. So
yeah. Thank you. So am I.
Yep.
Yeah. So we did that kind of stuff, but I've worked all my life, and we grew up in a house, didn't have that kind of money for college and stuff like that. And I'll be honest with you, if we did, I probably would have pissed away the time,
Really?
I was just a ne'er-do-well, It was, I got into. I used to do game, what they call it, dollar per square inch art for board games. Like, I don't know, this is probably, I don't know if you're familiar with the Fantasy Trip, or it's an old metagaming, kind of...
Like a role-playing kind of a thing?
Yeah. Kind of a tactical game, but with role-playing thrown in, and then the Steve Jackson games and stuff like that. Mostly during the 80s, just kind of... I wouldn't even call it steady work. It was, it was probably $5 per, a handful of drawings that I ever got for them, but...
Right.
But I've always been into filmmaking, science fiction, fantasy, comic books, things like that, and entertainment and films, and I'm I love films and special effects, of course, and that kind of stuff. And I basically, kind of thought I enjoy the idea of people doing things for themselves. That I like people that say, they don't want to wait to move to Hollywood to do what they want to do. They just do it. They don't care if it's in upstate New York. They don't care if it's in San Diego. They're just going to do their thing. And I always admire independent films. And then once I learned what fan films were, where they fell in place in the world of entertainment, I kind of actually gravitate toward fan films because they're a way to explore the characters and genres that you love. I can sit down like The Hunt for Gollum. I can sit down and watch that and just feel like, hey, I'm watching any of Steve Jackson's.
Yeah, it's another Peter Jackson snippet. Yeah.
Excuse me. Peter Jackson stuff. Yeah,
exactly.
I enjoy it just as much, but I kind of find myself enjoying them more because I know now what it takes to produce something.
Yep, it's coming from the little guy. It's not coming with this guy with millions and millions of dollars. Exactly. It's coming from some guy in a basement apartment somewhere. I mean, I'm not, the guys from Hunt for God obviously don't live in the basement apartment. But I'm just saying, just some regular, everyday, average Joes that get together and they have a mutual love of Lord of the Rings, and they say, hey, man, let's put a couple of dollars together. We'll shoot this thing, and we'll see what happens.
Right.
And look at the product. It's absolutely jaw-dropping. It's an amazing achievement for fan filmmakers everywhere. I mean, it's just so it's almost inspirational as Batman Dead End. I mean, in my eyes.
Oh, exactly. Yeah.
Just such a professional-looking piece of work that you'd be like, "Are you shitting me? Like this isn't Paramount or whoever." Are you kidding me? I got fooled in college. I always tell people this story. My introduction to fan films came in college. My friend Eric, who's also a huge fanboy like me, we're both comic book nerds for years and years and years, he called me into the library and he said, dude, check out this Spider-Man movie that's coming out. And I said, Spider-Man movie? This is before, the whole Sam Raimi one came out. He said, check this out, dude. And I looked at it. It was a guy swinging on a rope between buildings by himself. There was no CGI. And then you saw the Green Goblin, and he actually looked like the Green Goblin. He had the mask, and he had the outfit, and he was floating around on his glider. And I was just like, no fucking way. This is some normal guy? He's just like, yeah, dude, some guy made this. Goddamn pool, Yep. And I was just like, what? So, I went home, and I looked up everything I could fan film-wise. Star Wars fan film, Indiana Jones fan film, Batman, Spider-Man, Hulks, whatever I could get. And that caused me to say, you know what? I had to search a little bit for this material. What if I could start up my own site? I'm sure Chris can agree with this. To make it easier for people to find these works of art,
Right.
And that's why we started up our sites. I mean, to be like, hey, guess what's out there? Talent is going unrecognized, and usually 9 out of 10 times it's a lot more faithful to the original material than Hollywood ever will be.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that.
Hollywood takes way too many fucking liberties.
Well, there's too many cooks in the kitchen.
Exactly, way too many. Let's leave Avi Arid asshole.
Yeah.
People like that just don't belong. The guy can barely fucking speak English.
He's a yes man.
People can't. But you want somebody like that where you have like executive key grip producer Stan Lee. You want Stan Lee to be up front a little more than that. You know what I mean? You don't have Stan Lee holding the fucking cue cards.
Stan Lee has nothing to do with anything Marvel for the last
I'm going to be
30, 40 years.
The cue cards.
He's just a spokesman.
Excelsior.
Yeah.
There you go. No, that's part of why I kind of try to carve out a little niche for me is I kind of want to I am developing my skills. I'm not going to claim I appreciate the compliments, but I still consider myself developing and learning. I've only recently I actually attended, to answer your question further a while ago, my first art class. I mean, I'm lucky to live in the Cedar Park. It's right outside Austin. And in Cedar Park, there's a place called Gemini School of Visual Arts. And this place is the one of the artists there that's also they own the company, or the school, is a guy named Roger Barcelone. And he is a great artist, but they've just hooked up with Steambot Studios. And they're entertainment concept artists. They do concept art for games and movies and television and stuff like that. Well, I've just started trying to take some classes over there because that kind of stuff kind of interests me, and certainly it just gives me a chance to learn. And that's the first art classes I've ever taken. And the rest of this is all, like you said, self-taught. Learning, reading a lot. I mean, heck, the internet can teach you if you know how to what sites to hit and read and read and practice. But I tell you where I have the most fun and where I grow the most is when I get people, that start pushing me. That say, yeah, I like that. That's really good, Jeff. But I want it to. Can it look like this, or can you do this, or
right, like you've got the skills, just, push yourself a little more, and we'll see what happens,
Sean Olsen, when he did that, the G.I. Joe, of course, I love G.I. Joe, and again, he's another guy, talented guy, but what was fun about that project, it was a lot of back and forth, he just was honest. He said, I don't like the way this guy looks. Can we pick another picture?
I know what you're talking about, trust me. I mean, I've dealt with that where it's like, Snake Eyes is too far in the back. Let's put him more in the front. And you put him in the front, it's too in the front. You want him behind Scarlet. And then, you just got to keep putzing back and forth on the computer.
And I love that.
Yeah, but it's fun, it's fun.
It is. But no, most of the folks, I've been very, very lucky. I've had a few interesting encounters with some fan filmmakers and some folks trying to get started. I got an email from a guy who just had a litany of things that he needed me to do, and I didn't even know who he was.
I've got this list for you. Get around to it quickly.
Now, if you get an email from someone, you should get right on it. You shouldn't even know who that person is.
You don't know who I am. You don't need to know who I am. Get on this fucking project right now. All right?
They need it by Monday. But I've had a few of those. I've had some folks that I've done a little artwork for. They themselves are kind of struggling, and so it's kind of hard to hook up with them and keep up, keep the enthusiasm going and stuff. Sometimes just because they're really finding it hard to get off the ground themselves. But I encourage them with what I can. I certainly. I have never, obviously, I can't even sit here and tell you that I charged any money for any fan film I've ever done. I can't. I don't. But I have to be kind of cautious about what projects I take on, and it's not because I don't want to get involved in them. It's simply because I am literally, my wife, I'm surprised we're still married, but I'm on that computer doing something.
I hear you, dude.
Every day.
The GF's like, when are you going to come through here and watch TV with me?
Now, I notice a lot of your posters, you kind of do them after the fact, so you make sure, like, these guys obviously are legitimate. That's kind of a stupid question.
No, that's right. I mean, sometimes I have gotten those strange kind of out-of-the-blue deals where they are genuine folks, and they say, I've done this film. I need a poster for it. I don't have any money. I can't pay you. And I really, just because I am so involved in all of these continuing productions, like the guys with Star Trek and the guys and of course Roger King and stuff. I have to kind of say I would love to do that, but I can't. But I almost want to kick in a door and say, please, let me get involved in this. And like you were saying, like Rogue was the only Star Wars. I'd love to take a shot at some more Star Wars. Oh,
that's fun. That's a lot. You got a lot of fodder to work with there.
Yeah. I just, I guess because that I am a huge fan of Drew Struzan, and I absolutely, the reason the Hunt for Gollum looks the way it does is because I have always been drawn to his style. That man is just brilliant as far as I'm concerned. And how
you can sit in front of it. It's almost like I go as far as saying it's standing in front of like a Michelangelo. I've stood in front of an actual Drew Struzan poster.
Cool.
Where you actually see the brush strokes and you see the corrections. And it's like, I'm not really a religious guy, but it felt like I was standing in front of Jesus. I was just like, oh my God,
outstanding.
Wow, that's so awesome. He did this and he did that. I can see how he did that with the watercolor, and you could see, as an artist, you could see what he did.
Yeah.
And this is why he corrected this part, and oh man, that's fantastic, And the finished product is, like Back to the Future poster, which is awesome. He did all three of those too. Not to mention, he's done pretty much everything. You think about early '80s. Great cinema. He's pretty much done it.
Absolutely.
When us illustrators actually had work. This is back in the dinosaur age. We had jobs.
The people that you talk about illustrators, you do something I can't do. I do some illustration, very limited illustration. Most of my work is photo manipulation and some painting work. Now that's only recently. And
okay, well, hey man, keep it up. It's great, man. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
Photoshop is a crazy tool if you.
A lot of fun too.
If you'd like to learn to use it to do different things, and that's one of the classes that I got to take over at this the Gemini School was painting in Photoshop, and oh my God. I after 4 days of that class, I'm like, leave me alone for a week.
You're ready. You're ready to just get to that computer.
That's right. I just want to do stuff now.
Honey, I'm on fire. Oh, don't worry about it. I'm working on this new project.
Yeah, you'll see it. I think you'll see it in this Peter's Web poster, the third one here. You'll see a different approach. I think you'll see it in that one. And in using a lot of the stuff I learned just in that week. So, No, I look forward to. There's a whole bunch of projects out there that are floating around. I would love to help with, and sometimes I just don't know how to get in touch with folks, and you go to some of their sites and they already have really brilliant artists working with them, and so I don't even kind of approach them.
Right.
But, there's so many fan productions going on.
Well, there's always sequels. You never know.
Yeah.
Yep.
But like for the one you have on your site right now, the Forsaken poster.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
That is a good one.
I just love that stuff. So.
That's just this dude is sitting back, opening up Photoshop, and is hammering away, and before you know it, you're like, that's Hollywood caliber stuff.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Pretty crazy.
What is it? My brain just went blank. Grayson. Grayson is.
Oh, there you go. That's Chris's favorite fan film.
Yep.
Really? Is it? I saw that poster, and that, like you said earlier, it was one of those images you look at and you go, "Oh my God, I have got to see this thing."
Oh, sweet, hell yeah! As a fanboy, you see Robin, period, as the main star of the feature. Look how dramatic he looks. And,
yeah, that was absolutely outstanding. Yep. Outstanding stuff.
And maybe see Batman Who,
Now that's a good question for you, Jeff. And not to diss any of the people you've done posters for, but what are your best? What's your favorite fan film?
My favorite fan film? I gotta say,
put them on the spot.
No, I gotta
make a lot of enemies right now. Think carefully.
I'll be honest and just absolutely say, if somebody held a gun to my head.
Oh God, we hope not. Especially in your line of your profession, we don't wish that.
My irritated words, and he was killed the next day after this recording. That would be really sad. But no, I would have to say The Hunt for Gollum.
Okay.
Because I don't know. There's just something about the work that Chris Burchard put together in that thing that, in those trailers alone, I just was totally drawn into it. I have to get, and I don't want to bounce around. But that's my favorite. But I have so many other ones I love. I mean,
right.
The Star Trek stuff, and not because I'm involved. I think James Cawley has done a great job with the Star Trek as a series. I do. I love the G.I. Joe one. I kind of. Oh man, Batman Dead End. Man, I love that tremendously.
Yeah, it's not to staple you into what you hate, but you always have a favorite. It's nothing against any of the other films.
I love
all great films.
The new one, the Treasure of the Templars.
That was fantastic. Yeah.
I've been watching that to see how that's going to develop, and that's
been in the works for like
the
3-4 years.
The first 10 or 15 minutes is online.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, they get it on YouTube, as far as I know.
Yeah, it's been out for like a year, right, Will?
Yeah.
Something like that.
They're still working on it.
Because what I like, of course, what I immediately was drawn to was their poster by Paul Schiffer. And it's like, I went, oh my God, I think I know that artist, And I saw their poster and I said, oh, dude, that is gorgeous. And I didn't know. I thought they just had a trailer. I guess maybe that's all I've seen. I'm going to have to look on YouTube when we get off here.
Check it out. It's really cool. It really grabs you because it's a typical, Indiana Jones beginning. He's in trouble. He's being a wise ass. Like all the key elements are there. So it's great to watch.
What's Fran's new Indiana Jones movie there? Will?
What's that?
That should be out. So Fran Casanova? What's his
new
Indiana Jones movie?
Who are we talking about?
Fran Casanova.
Oh, our friend, Spain, Fran Casanova. Yep.
Hopefully he'll get that online pretty soon.
Yeah,
that looks pretty good too.
No jokey. I mean, he makes great films. One of our friends from Spain. He's made a Batman fan film. He's made, a couple.
He's made like 3 or 4 Indiana Jones films. Right, exactly. So seek those out, Jeff.
Not in our native English, but in Spanish, and he often subtitles them, so it's not a big deal. But he's another one where his work just speaks for itself.
Yeah.
You really don't have to have a fancy poster for Casanova's work because the finished product is that much impressive as the next guy. So. Right. he's the kind of guy. He's kind of quiet about his movies. He's like, if you could possibly show this on your site, that would be great. I really appreciate it.
And he does it when he shows them when they're done, which is. I mean, most fan filmmakers should do.
It's not really suggested to do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but he's a really great guy and very nice guy, and it's great to have ties, abroad. We have fans from, Mexico, we have in Spain, and we love Australia. You got me over here in Oyster Bay, Long Island, and but all over the world, people are taking notice, and it's a very big thing right now. When we first started out, with Troops and all those other ancient blow the dust off fan films, they were kind of like a Comic-Con exclusive, where they'd only show them at comic conventions underground, a 35 millimeter, and everybody would sit back and the Star Trek fan film have gone back for ages and ages and ages now.
Right.
So I mean that's the only chance you can see it, but now because of this wonderful invention, the internet, it's a worldwide phenomenon. So it's really incredible how far we've come, with looking at these projects from Troops to The Hunt for Gollum. I mean, look at the leaps and bounds we've made. It's pretty incredible.
You asked Star Wars Revelations. I'm sorry.
Forget about it. Yeah, that's another good one.
One of my big favorites.
You did that poster?
No.
Oh, okay.
It is a beautiful poster.
Yeah, it is great.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that's one of. I guess it's the folks that 6 months ago I probably would have said, I kind of really like the ones that really strive for excellence, but I tell you what, the more I watch them, the more I kind of enjoy the ones that just try to deliver what the guy trying to make it is trying to deliver. And what I mean, like you said earlier, they know what fans want to see. They're fans themselves. They know what fans want to see, and they put those elements in their films. Use Roger as an example. That's crazy cool stuff. But he knows what Spider-Man fans like and what they want to see. And that's kind of what I appreciate about fan films, is that those folks putting those things out there are doing it because they love that particular story or character.
Exactly.
And man, sometimes you get some of the most pure fun when you get somebody like that. That's the kind of stuff I wish Hollywood would do. Somebody that really, really loved a character and wouldn't bastardize one or something, and just put it out there and know what fans want to see and show it. But what are they? They're worried about money. They're worried about making back the money on films that somehow don't seem to break even.
Yeah, but to this day, I mean, what's so hard about it? Why can't you just stay more faithful to the original material? Why?
Yeah, but
why can't you do that?
It's a business, and I'm sorry, Jeff, I don't mean to, put off what you said there, but it is a business, and they do need to make money, but if they would just trust the creators who love and understand the characters, they would make more money, but the suits don't get it.
No,
they're a little scared,
I agree with that wholeheartedly. And I think that's some of the stuff that, James Cawley has kind of proven, when he started doing the Star Trek, and actually started, when he started, when drawing people to the projects, very talented people, the special effects guys and the costumers and all these people that just wanted to, who recognized that James wanted to produce Star Trek, how many people wanted to see Star Trek, which, like you said, that the folks, the suits, somehow don't understand that they can make tons of money, but doing just that. Putting together a project that is faithful, that people say, oh my God, that was, somebody said it once, like when you're in a movie theater and you do go to some movie, like a Spider-Man movie or something like that, and they do, for somehow, some way, it made it through a fateful moment, and you hear like half the theater either laugh or go,
the fanboys in the audience, that's awesome,
and that's the moment that you go, I wish this whole movie were just like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
So that's why fan films are so fun to me, because
last movie I saw like that, Watchmen. I mean, all these different things that he loves. Oh, they put that in. oh, that's fucking awesome, like, that's great, and everybody geeks out, that knows where the roots are. They just geek out, and it's great to hear that. It's really great to hear.
And I think that they have to look at, something like Watchmen's a good example. What made Watchmen so popular when it was originally produced?
Eons ago. Yeah.
Right, and let's try to stick to that. Let's take what made it popular and let's do that. But you do get some folks that just want to improve things for the sake of improving them.
Right.
And I don't ever mind any time when somebody looks at a classic character or a classic, a comic or a novel or something. And I like when folks they say, okay, we have the technology, let's do something we couldn't do. But, when you start making the characters do things that they never did, I mean, I'm trying to think of something that comes to mind. Just something outrageous that they never did, even in artwork form in a comic or in when you're reading. That's where people suddenly go like, oh, that was just for the sake of, because you could do that digitally,
That was called the Star Wars prequels.
Yeah.
There's 3 of those pieces of shit.
No, but see, you're right. That's a good example.
Yeah.
I've never really kind of been able to kind of label why I get grouchy about those, but it's because it's
why. It's all about the technology.
Yeah.
It's not our
more
Star
than
Wars.
The story and the characters.
Ours.
Oh, absolutely. They were okay. They were mediocre. They were good films, but
there's a couple things here and there. I mean, like
Well, they had a few shining moments. They had
of course.
Exactly. Like you were saying, there's a few moments when they're watching the film where there'd be cheers, and the rest is like.
Yeah. You look at something like Revelations and Sean Felix. That's his name, right? Sean.
I'm not sure.
You look at Revelations, and you see somebody who, I've heard criticism where they say, oh, he was just trying to make something to get himself a job. Well, there's a lot of things you can make and a lot of things you can do to try to get a job.
You can make a freaking commercial to get a job,
or a music video or whatever. But that was when I saw that, I could not believe it was made. I just looked at it, and I went,
"Yeah,
okay. How'd they do that? How did they do that in a computer sitting on top of someone's desk? How did they do that?" And that's what I love is when you can watch a fan film, and then now these guys throw stuff at you don't expect. I love that.
Best part, yeah.
Like Roger's editing.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't expect that kind of editing, that fast-paced, bing, bang, boom. It was like reading a comic.
That was great, yeah. That first 5 minutes of the first part there, that's what caught me.
Yeah, absolutely. And anything that makes me gut bust laugh sitting behind my computer, man, that's worthy of my attention. I'm gonna, I love that kind of stuff. I love, I'm glad there's now a place. It's kind of like you said, it used to be kind of Comic-Con fair, back room kind of, hey, we're gonna show these videos at 11 o'clock tonight,
Yeah.
And now people that are saying, I'm going to go to San Diego because I want to meet, this guy. I want to meet Roger King. He told me he's going to be there in a little email, and that's crazy stuff when
it is.
When these people, it's creating its own fandom.
Right.
I see it with New Voyages and Phase 2. They go to a convention and people are coming up and asking for autographs, and I'm sitting there going, what the heck? Where'd this come from?
Next thing you know, there'll be 2 idiots doing a podcast interviewing you.
Yeah.
But, that might happen soon. I'm not sure.
That would be insane. And probably illegal. But...
Especially with a restraining order.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
No, what else? What else? Ask me questions. I will lie and tell you whatever I...
Say something pretty.
There's one thing I did want to say. You talked about Batman Dead End. We said is it Hunter Prey?
Yeah,
that's the film that should be out sometime.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's Color's independent movie.
He filmed it over a year ago.
Yeah, it's due out hopefully soon.
It was supposed to be out a while ago, so
Cool. See, now
I think Clive brought it up not too long ago.
Yeah, he would be how do you pronounce his last? It's cholera?
Yeah, cholera.
Yeah, see, that'd be somebody fun to work with because a passionate guy. You know, he's very passionate.
Oh, absolutely.
And he just keeps at it.
You talk to that guy, it's effing this and effing that, but, you know, he doesn't just throw the words out just to throw an F word out. There's passion behind it.
That's great. Those are the
Chris had the privilege of interviewing him. I wasn't there, unfortunately, for that one.
He was very intimidating. He's probably the most intimidating guest we've had.
Really? There's a Captain America film I saw a little trailer for a while back, a black and white.
Yeah, there's a couple of them, but I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, and I watched that and I thought, wow, you know, this is crazy, great stuff, and it's almost, you know, I get excited about the mainstream media films coming down the pike. You know, Iron Man and all that stuff, and I love that stuff. I'm not going to say I don't love it, and I'll go to every one of them. They're going to make their 15
billions of dollars.
But I'll go to every one of them. But, you know, when I start looking at stuff like that online and going, God, when is this coming out? You know, when is this going to come out? That's interesting to me. It's fun. And I want to get involved with these folks. I'm just not sure how to, you knock on the door sometimes. And so, you know, building up some stuff in the portfolio is nice, you know.
It's the way to go, man.
And you certainly have. I don't think you're going to have any problem contacting anybody.
Nah.
Well, y'all can hook me up. Just remember me, and once you tell them I do it for free, they'll be knocking on my door.
Yeah, right.
I'll get one of those emails that, like, I need 14 pages, web design, and...
That's the thing. I mean, there's got to be a time where you're not going to... Your skills are so good. I don't think you have to do it for free anymore.
I'm
think you should get some extra cash going?
Yeah. You know, I'm kind of wandering into that area a little bit, not tremendously. You know, I do have, unfortunately, I say unfortunately, I have my full-time job. I am a police officer, a police captain, and so it is very time-consuming.
Right.
It does afford me a decent living. I'm not going to complain about that, and I've got a family and have to deal with that part of it. But there is a scary, adventuresome side to me that would like to say, hey, you know, one day I'd like to get out there and knock this stuff out for some dollars. But right now, I really, really just want to get involved with some of these productions and do this stuff for free, for fun, because I get such a I love it when, you know, like when you use The Hunt for Gollum as an example, or even any episode of Phase 2 that comes out. One of the most fun things is, before the film is either ever done or anything like that, is getting, I go crazy trying to get the poster done, because I do get a charge out of going to some guy's blog that I have no idea who this guy is. I just happen to do a little search for this particular production, and boom, there's the poster. You know, I do enjoy that. There is satisfaction in that kind of stuff, and that's artist ego talking, but you know, that's it. It's very true. I love it, and especially if I did something, or I feel good about it and feel like I did something well. Like the Gollum or the G.I. Joe. And I was kind of passionate about those. I admit I loved A Battle for the Serpent Stone. I loved that, and I watched it, and it had been out for a while. But when I caught it, I said, you know, golly, I'm coming in way behind a year after this film had come out. But I thought, you know, why not take a shot at it? And it was just about the time that I guess Sean announced that it was going to be on the video. The DVD compilation.
Which is awesome. Yep.
That's great. That is great stuff. So, I appreciate your vote of confidence, but I'm still trying to get out there and splash around and make waves and get people's attention and just have fun. It is fun, and as long as
that's what it should be. If it starts to become work, then you already have a job.
Yeah,
especially your job.
Yeah, I do a lot of drawing at my job. It's just chalk outlines around bodies.
Oh, that's a great way to cap this interview off.
I look forward to doing some more. We got the next. Oh, I guess the next projects that I've got coming out are the next Peter's Web episode.
Yeah. Are you doing? You're going to do all 6 of them, I would imagine.
That's the plan.
Wow.
That's the plan.
Okay,
awesome. I love working with the guy. He's just so exuberant. I can't take it. Working with James Cawley and the guys up in New York. We've got a whole bunch of episodes filmed. We'll be producing posters and stuff for those coming out.
Cool.
A lot of post-production work going on there, but I got a feeling that next year you will see more Phase 2 episodes than ever. I mean, there's some crazy ones, really good ones that are in the. How's
that whole Buck Rogers thing's going? Can you see anything?
Good. I don't know how much I can kind of say about it, so I'll have to be a little careful because it is, it's all in the pre-production and they're still negotiating with folks and stuff. But no, James has got a firm grip on it. I think he knows where he's going to go with it. I like the setting and the style that he's going to go for. And again, I'm afraid to give too many details because I really don't know if it would be appropriate right now. But
okay, that's fine.
I do like it. I think it's going to be fun. I know that it is going to be episodic, and they're going to do, they're really going to go for that cliffhanger kind of maximizing internet entertainment approach. I'm excited about it. I hope everything comes through on it, and I know that they're going to be filming October. I guess I wouldn't call it a teaser or a trailer. I would call it kind of a semi-proof of concept kind of thing.
Okay.
And I think it's going to be pretty cool. It's definitely going to be different than the Star Wars. Star Wars, boy. James probably just fell on the floor.
You're going to piss a lot of Star Trek fans.
He fell on the floor and he started having an out-of-body right there.
Star Wars? What's that?
What's that you speak of?
I think it's going to be very different than what we've done, but it's going to use a lot of and maximize a lot of the talent that's been involved. And he's built a very loyal following of folks, and it'll be interesting to see what he can do with it.
And I must mention that this is all licensed stuff.
That's right. This will allow them to make a profit,
right.
And kind of for all those years of and labor of and not being able to. This will be an opportunity for him to make some of that money back, and I hope produce some really fun episodes. I know that Frank Miller is, my understanding, has the rights, or somebody. I hope I'm probably completely wrong, and somebody's right now is freaking out.
That's okay. We're wrong all the time, so go for it.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. He has some movie rights to it, and so they're looking down the road at a movie, as I understand, and so this internet rights kind of thing is very unique, and for Buck Rogers, and what they're going to do with it, I think will be very interesting and will be completely different. Although James, he does little nods back to the original Buck Rogers, and then also even all the way up into Gil Gerard, Buck Rogers.
DB.
Yeah.
Good old Twiggy.
Yeah.
Watch it, Buck.
I mean,
go get him, Buck.
He has Gil involved in it now.
Mel Blanc.
Yeah. If only we could get Mel Blanc involved. He'd be as quiet as I was planning to be, I guess. I like Mel Blanc. Why would I be that? I should be that mean.
Mel Blanc's dead.
I know.
Yowzers.
I'm being bad now.
We're bad constantly, so thanks for taking over for a little bit.
He's playing good cop, bad cop at the same time.
That's Harvey Keitel over here on the phone. The bad lieutenant we're speaking to.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, I definitely appreciate the opportunity to get with y'all and talk about stuff. And,
it's been a pleasure, man.
Yep.
It's hook me up with some folks, and anybody you get involved with, tell them I'm hanging around, and I'm not half as weird as I sound, and I'll do my best work for them if I can. But yeah, I I appreciate y'all. Clive. I appreciate Clive. All the folks that are trying to get this stuff out there, get this information out there. Because you said it a while ago, and you said there's so much talent and so much energy, and it deserves attention.
Absolutely.
And I'm glad y'all are doing what you're doing. So please keep it up, and I'll
what
show
she said.
some money y'all's way that I'm bumped.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
You keep keeping those streets safe over there in Austin.
Right after I said I'll shove some money your way.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
All right, brother. Thank you so much.
Again, I appreciate it.
Take care. Go arrest somebody.
You're welcome back on the show anytime, man.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. Maybe in a year or something, we'll come back and I'll have some more lies to tell.
All right, cool. Once that restraining order...
when that wears out. And that's out, right, in a year, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
I mean, that's the only reason we're doing a phone interview.
Right,
you maniac.
Right. So we'll do the one at your house next year.
Yeah, that's right. We'll have a party and knock it out here at the house. Okay. All right.
All right.
All right, sir.
All right, guys.
All right. You
take care, buddy.
Now.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Is it my life or just something I dream?